Hello, Uncle Ted, your ice cream alchemist here with ice cream every day, and this is brown butter cinnamon custard ice cream. And I got to tell you, it's one of the most luxurious ice cream flavors I have ever made. Took me a couple attempts to get the recipe right, but it was worth it. This is, without a doubt, incredible, and it's easy to make. So I hope that you guys watch the video, like and subscribe. Now would be a great time, and follow along. Now, basic recipe that I always use: 2 cups of heavy cream, 1 cup whole milk, 3/4 cup sugar. Now we're also using 1/3 of a cup of the non-fat dry milk, as well as 1 tablespoon of cinnamon and 1/8 of a teaspoon of guar gum, as well as a tablespoon of vanilla. Now for butter, I'm using 1 whole stick, and we're going to melt that in a non-stick pan and melt it slow. Don't crank up the heat. While that's melting, then I'm going to get my dairy going. Now this is, like I said, 2 cups of heavy cream, 1 cup whole milk, and we're just going to go ahead and put that on low. For eggs, I need 3 egg yolks. I'm not making a super rich custard, I just need the eggs to emulsify with the butter, so that's why I use the eggs. Originally, I didn't have eggs, and the butter actually rose to the top when it chilled and hardened. It was horrible. But what I do is I take the 3/4 cup sugar and I whip that up with the 3 egg yolks. Make sure to save your whites, and I get that to its ribbon stage. And you'll notice that it almost doubles in volume as well. Ribbon stage, where you can put a ribbon of it on the top and it hangs there for a few seconds. That's when you know it's ready. And then once we have it at ribbon stage, we go ahead and get our butter stirred. Now this isn't on high heat, this is actually low medium. But then I add the non-fat dry milk right to the melted butter. This way I have more solids in the brown butter. That means more flavor. That's a little hint for you. Add some non-fat dry milk to your butter as you're browning it, and you'll get way more flavor. It's actually a very nice trick, and it works very well. Now it's important to keep stirring. The non-fat dry milk that we added, it will tend to clump up, so you're going to have to break up those clumps. But keep in mind that once we get it into the milk, it'll actually break apart again, so it'll be okay, but we do need to make sure that we get all that milk solids broken up as best as we can. Now we're going to wait until the dairy actually gets hot before we add it. We want that brown butter and dairy to both be hot, because otherwise it'll react poorly and it'll harden up on us and make a real mess. So that's why we heat the dairy first, and then we add the hot brown butter to that. And yes, I was very careful to make sure to get every last bit of the solids out of the pan. That is flavor, and we need that. Now, what I did is I had the dairy still on the heat, but I turned it off fairly quickly, because all I want to do is incorporate it. I don't need to cook it. Everything's cooked. I just need to have it warm so that everything incorporates better. And so once I have that done, then I'm going to go ahead and add the cinnamon. Keep in mind, cinnamon doesn't dissolve, so you're not actually going to dissolve the cinnamon in the mix. You're just going to make sure that it gets evenly distributed. Yeah. So I actually let this get a little bit warmer than I should have, but that's okay. But once you get that cinnamon evenly distributed, then you're ready for the next step. And I have to say, I am so happy I got this shot. Oh boy. So I'm really happy about this next shot. I'm proud of it. It took a while. So now we're going to temper the eggs. And you guys have heard me complain about how hard it is to get the shot. I finally figured it out. So we're going to go ahead and have our egg and sugar mixture, get it moving. Then we're going to add a little bit of the hot dairy, just a little bit. Just a little bit, and we're going to keep whisking until we get that in. And then we're going to add a little more hot dairy and keep whisking. Keep it moving. Don't stop. We're doing this so we warm up the eggs without cooking them. We don't want scrambled eggs. We want warm eggs. We want to heat this up so we can cook it without scrambling. And so we just add it bit by bit and just keep on going, back and forth. And then once we have that properly incorporated and tempered, then it's going to go right back to the pan. And I'm really proud of this shot. But once it goes back to the pan, Now, you notice I did this off the heat. The reason why is because as soon as you put this on the heat, you need to be stirring, because otherwise it will stick and you'll have some problems. And yeah, I know my white balance is a little off, I'm sorry. But keep whisking, do not stop. You'll notice that I whisk up until the very end. I whisk until the last possible moment, because it will stick to the pan if you don't. Even if, stuff drops, makes a mess, don't worry about it. Keep stirring. Then put that in your sieve. Go ahead and strain it out. I didn't really have a lot of solids left in the strainer, but I had enough that it was worth it to have a strainer. This way nothing solid gets in there, and when you're eating you don't feel anything chunky, because that's not good eats. I didn't have any cooked egg though, because the eggs were properly tempered. Something I did right. So after we get that strained, then we're going to go ahead and add our half a teaspoon of vanilla. Whoop. There it goes. A little bit. Half a teaspoon. And then we're going to go ahead and cover this up with plastic and put that in the fridge overnight. Then we go ahead and add it to our ice cream maker according to manufacturer's instructions. And you know what? When you pull it out, it looks amazing. By the way, ice cream straight out of the ice cream maker is sublime. It's absolutely incredible. But shout out to my cousin Chad. I hope you get to try this sometime. And you know what? If you're not eating ice cream for breakfast, what's the point of being an adult? I love you guys. Thank you so much for sharing the links. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the comments. And I hope you guys get a chance to make this, because it is absolutely an amazing ice cream flavor. Thank you.